Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of great millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kanan. This will be a quick lunch hit. Tried to get this earlier, but Satan throws his stumbling blocks, and hey, we got to keep going at it. This will be civil war. All right. So what you see is destined to happen to this place right there. Spiritual Babylon set in flames, engulfed in flames. Okay. Ultimately, but on the way, we're gonna encounter wars, and this one's gonna be going into civil war. All right. I pray that it be edifying. Okay. We're going to start off with the book of Matthew 13:15. For this people's heart is wax gross. Okay. The heart is your mind, and wax means grown. And the people that Yahweh Shai, red letter as you see, is referring to as you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, which make up the house of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel. That includes you speckled birds that look like other nations, but yet your father's seed goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob's sons, the 12 progenitors, not his daughter, but the sons, the 12 progenitors of our nation, Yasharallah. Okay. For this people's, once again, Yasharallah, heart, your mind, is wax grown gross. Okay. And their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. That goes into the see no evil, hear no evil. You know that with those monkeys covering the eyes and the mouth and all of that's a form of wickedry. Just basically trying to ignore all the things going on around you that affect your life. Okay. What you don't know will hurt you. All right. Least at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their hearts, with their mind. But these people want smooth things preached unto them. They hate actual prophecy, okay, which is to say something that's going to happen before. They don't want nothing to do with that. They want everything's going okay. Let me go about my day. I'm trying to cop me a Hellcat. I'm trying to get on the plane and go over here. I want to go party over there next weekend. That's what they want, not reality that they're facing, and should be converted. And I should heal them. Now, here's my point. Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes. Whose eyes? Starting with the elect, starting with the 144,000, the 12,000 of the 12 tribes, and then extended out to the 1/3, the men, women, and children of our nation who have Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai has ordained to be saved, okay? To truly be saved in that time, all right? But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Hear what? The warnings that are being given through his prophets, okay? Starting with the apostles, the elders of great millstone, and like-minded men, which I pray that I'm in that category of like-minded men, okay? For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see these things which ye see. And what do we see? We see the tell-alls that the scriptures that told us about. Example, Yahweh Shai speaking in Matthew 24, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, famine, earthquakes in various places. These conditions are here, okay? And all the prophets have given us warning, and we're doing that to this day. We're still prophesying. We're still prophesying mainly of what? The MOTB that's yet to come. The conclusion of this World War III that is setting off right now in front of your very eyes. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see these things, those things which ye see, which we see today, okay? And have not seen them. And to hear these things which ye hear and have not heard them. So let's get to it. Here's something that we desire to see. Okay. This is copyright 107 under Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, which means I'm not selling a product. This is strictly for educational purposes, and I pray that it be edifying to the body.
Today, The president made what are widely called unusual, perhaps unprecedented remarks in the modern era. And he explicitly said this military under this Trump administration must better focus on attacking, quote, the enemy within. And as for the controversial and sometimes legally overruled use of the National Guard in America, the president rhetorically pushing past that, explaining that he views the military, which we'll show you was quite careful to be quiet during what were widely seen as partisan remarks. He will use the military on American cities for what he calls a training ground for a new type of war.
Something is happening right.
And as for the controversial and sometimes legally overruled use of the National Guard in America, the president rhetorically pushing past that, explaining that he views the military, which we'll show you was quite careful to be quiet during what were widely seen as partisan remarks. He will use the military on American cities for what he calls a training ground for a new.
Okay, you can't get no more plain than that. And I don't have it coming out of his mouth, but you can do your research and find the video. For sake of time, let's get to these verses to back up the condition that this is going to lead to. We can go no further than back to 12, Matthew 12. And here it goes. 24, 25, Salakia. And Yahushua, knowing their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, to nigh. Okay? And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Now let's get that. Bible comparisons. This is the okay. This is the NLT. Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied. And once again, this is Matthew's 12 and Matthew's 12 and 25. Yahushua knew their thoughts and replied, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. Is that not the precursor to civil war? Using the troops to practice on our civilians? A town or a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And we're going to back that up right here. Okay, because precept upon precept, line upon line. Luke 11 and 17. But he, knowing their thoughts, said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Every house divided against a house falleth. And we can get that in Bible comparison because you're going to see the same thing. This is the NLT. Luke 11 and 17. He knew their thoughts, he being who? Yahushua. So he said, every kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. Once again, you can't get around it. A family splintered by feuding will fall apart. Okay? Now let's get what his words are going to lead to. This is the book of 2nd Esdras. I want to go 16 first. 2nd Esdras 16 and 17. Woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? And who will deliver Esdras from what? These conditions. 2nd Esdras 15. And we're going to start at woe 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for a sword and for the sword and their destruction. All right, what's the modern day sword? Your guns, rockets, missiles, ultimately them ICBMs, okay? Intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are going to fly across the world and not miss, for the sword and their destruction. Sword also goes into how they poison our waters, poison our airs, okay? This all the way destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another with sword in their hands. This ain't talking about your neighborhood gang banging, all right? That January 6th shit, that was a slither of what's to come here. Sedition. For there shall be sedition, look that word up, goes directly into challenging your authorities, challenging your government, because your government is tyrannical, which the Constitution, which is outdone with, you could call it outdated, because it's totally been trampled over, has preparations for the people to rise up against a tyrannical government. So once again, that doesn't apply to today. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Who are your kings and princes today? The president, your senators, your governors, your mayors. Those are your princes, okay? And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And once again, that January 6th, they brought those gallows to go hang the vice president. Now, this ain't going to be no a couple hours event. This is going to be ongoing chaos. Okay, once again, civil war. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Why? Because of martial law. Because of martial law. You've heard of it. Get reacquainted. They have those they got those concentration camps coming up, at least 23. That's the number put out there. We know it's more because any one of these Walmarts or Amazon warehouses, fulfillment centers could be used and turned into that at a drop of an eye. Firewalls with concrete so thick you cannot breach them. Okay, the housing space is here. All right, and the means of setting up the guillotines that they've been hiding since at least 2011, all of these administrations have been part of this, okay? Once again, the setting up the enterprise, the New World Order, this is part of it. Order out of chaos, all right? So these are the conditions that are coming to this soil that has been known as Virgin Babylon, meaning she hasn't been touched, but she will, all right? This is the book of Isaiah 19:4. And the Egyptians, and these are spiritual Egyptians, your Edomites, will I give over unto the hands of a cruel Lord, all lowercase, Lord, meaning a man, a cruel man, and a fierce king. And what's the name of this operation that they use to strike Iran? It has fierce in there. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Lord of what? Hosts, armies. Okay, playtimes is over. So he's done this. All right, Salaki. Oh, okay, and I wanted this one too. And this goes perfect. Back into that World War II talk. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians. Now, this did not happen when we came up out of Egypt, led by Moses. This is today current spiritual Egyptians. Because we're in spiritual Egypt, which is bondage. Okay, look it up. We're still in bondage. All right, enslaved to these wicked people. All right, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. What is that? Civil war. We just read of it. City against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right. And the spirit of the Egyptians shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to their idols, which they do, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And that's what they've done for consultation. But just like what happened to Saul, they can't get the answers they want. All right. And as far as the civil war goes, let me give you this for a hint. These people are not here. These are IDF. A lot of these are IDF, Israel Defense Forces.
How long did you go to school for that? I love my job. Thank you.
You love your job?
I can't believe I get paid for this.
Really?
I do this for free.
Really, I get $200K.
And the joke's on them. Word comes out that Trump hasn't been paying these people. And they got a bigger budget than the military to go ravish through the streets, okay? 47 days of training to mirror the 47th president. All right, this is a bunch of bullshit. Like the Lord said, He would take the wisdom up out of Edom and all of their council, all of their government. Okay, just full of dummies, idiots. All right. What else we got here for you? The book of Isaiah 3:12. Okay, Salakia. Isaiah. No. Jeremiah Salaki. I'm moving a little quick here. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, hell, spiritual Nineveh, United Snakes of America, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners. You just seen possibly one, okay? Because once again, look it up. IDF soldiers have a major percentage in that ICE. Because why? They're not depending on the United States citizens. They know that there are some fucking racist snakes that'll do anything, but they also know that there's conscience amongst these people that live in this country, okay, for their country. Remember, MAGA, make America great again. That's not what's happening here, okay? I will send unto spiritual Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land for the day of trouble. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. Now we're going to get that. And let me explain. With this Iran conflict, he's talking about sending more soldiers because they can't get that oil out the straits, okay? Out through that main gap. Also, don't we still got the conflict? We still threatening Mexico. We still got the issue with Venezuela. That requires bodies. It's not just drones and planes. It requires bodies, okay? So our soldiers are going to get stretched out while you have the foreigners come over here. And the foreigners are not just Israeli. They're from all other nations. We know that Joe Biden supposedly opened the floodgate. I believe that they've been doing that for God knows how long. And they've been trained over here on our terrain. They used to do those drills back in, 2010, 11 with our soldiers. They know this land better than you think they do, okay? This is the NIV to Jeremiah 51:2. I will send foreigners to spiritual Babylon, United States of America, to window her and to devastate her land, to devastate, not to help heal, to destroy, to utterly put an end to this place, along with the host Yahweh Shah coming back to put the finishing touches, okay? And they will oppose her on every side in the day of their destruction. And the day of her destruction, who is her? That whore that sits upon the beast. And keep in mind, I keep saying that Canada is going to play a major role. You've been poking at Canada. They're going to play a major role. One of the head cornerstones of NATO is going to play a very big part in taking licks at United States of America, along with Mexico and ultimately we all know Russia, the head prince. But as right now, I was focusing on this civil war, okay? Because hey, it's here. And let me leave you with this. These are the tokens that these ICE agents are getting for causing chaos, for pepper spraying, shooting in the face, shooting in the back. They get rewarded for this. So what more can you ask for but retaliation, okay? And with that, I pray that this was edifying. Shalom.